Hello, I'm Dave Mills, Technology Librarian here at the West Wyandotte branch of the Kansas City, Kansas Public Library. The library has a vast nonfiction collection, but sometimes information is not available in our stacks. Where can you get that information? Well, let me introduce you to EBSCOhost MasterFILE Premier. The MasterFILE Premier database is just one of the many databases that are overseen by its parent host, EBSCOhost. And as a matter of fact, the Kansas City, Kansas Public Library subscribes to both the EBSCOhost as well as MasterFILE Premier. And as such, there are a couple different ways to arrive at MasterFILE Premier. I'm going to show you two ways. One is through the EBSCOhost, and the other is directly to the MasterFILE Premier. So let's go ahead and start by arriving at EBSCOhost. And to do that, first of all, on your browser, you'll arrive at our library webpage, www.kckpl.org. That will load the home page, and then you'll want to click on the eCommunity link, which is at the top of the screen. And that opens up a new tab at the top of your browser and also loads the eCommunity page. You can see some of the services that we offer here. We're scrolling down to the databases alphabetically, and we'll click on that. And that'll open up another tab at the top of your screen. And here's the alphabetical listing of all the databases that the library subscribes to. Since we want EBSCOhost, we're going to go ahead and click on E. And it takes us down to the E listings. And as a matter of fact, EBSCOhost is right at the top of the screen. We'll click on EBSCOhost. And this opens up a new page of all the databases that the EBSCOhost looks over. And it's all in alphabetical order here. So to find MasterFILE Premier, we'll have to scroll down. And then once you arrive there, just simply click on it. And that opens up the MasterFILE Premier database by which you can do search for articles or books or journals. Let me demonstrate to you a second way by which we can open up MasterFILE Premier. So I'm going to close these tabs up here at the top of my screen. And once again, I'm at the library's home web page right here. I will click on eCommunity. And then click on Databases alphabetically. And this time, I'm going to go ahead and click on M for MasterFILE Premier. And here it is in the M section right here, right below Mango Languages. I'll click MasterFILE Premier to open. A new tab opens up at the top, and I'm ready to search for my journal or article or a book. Okay, so you've arrived at the MasterFILE Premier search page, and you're getting ready to search for that journal or that article. And before you do, I'd like to recommend that you sign in to your EBSCOhost account. Now, EBSCOhost, of course, is the parent company of MasterFILE Premier, as well as many other search databases in the KCKPL community. Now, to sign in, just simply take your mouse up to the top of the page and click Sign In. And why would you need an account for searching for articles and journals and whatnot? Well, basically, by virtue of having an account, EBSCOhost can store any searches that you've done in past sessions, and I'll demonstrate that in just a moment. We're at the sign-in page right now, and you could sign in if you have a Google account, or you can set up an account by going down below the sign-in button and creating an account by clicking on the link right here. I've already created my account, so I'm going to go ahead and log into my account. Okay, so I'm now signed into my account, and here's the folder I was talking about earlier, and we'll see how that comes into play in just a moment. And you can go ahead and type your search here, but before you do, consider this. MasterFILE Premier, which is of course one of EBSCOhost's databases, only searches for general topics. And so if you're doing a particular topic, it might be a good idea to add databases to enhance your search. So to do that, simply click on the Choose Databases link, which is right here, and it'll open up a page for you. And here are all the databases that EBSCOhost offers. And so let's say that I'm doing a topic about chickenpox. And so to help my search, maybe I need something from the academic world, so I'll click on Academic Search Premier. And then as I browse through here, maybe I need a historical perspective about chickenpox. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Historic Reference Center as well. And of course, you can add as many databases as you deem necessary for your research project. I'm just going to limit mine to 2. I click OK. And I'm almost ready to do a search, but I'd also like to direct your attention to what lies below the search field right here. In other words, some limiters. Another thing I'm going to do in my search is I'm going to limit my results to full text. And I think I'm also going to limit my search results to scholarly, peer-reviewed journals. Another thing to take into consideration is if you know the publication that you're searching for, you can type the name of the publication in this text field right here. I'm going to leave mine blank. And then over here on the right-hand side, you could do a publication range as far as the date goes. So from the month and the year to the month and the year. And then another thing to consider are images in your articles. Do you want to look for images or articles that include black and white photography, color photography, graphs, maps, charts, diagrams, and illustrations? I'm going to leave these checkboxes unchecked, and I'm going to go ahead and do my search for chickenpox. And notice that MasterFILE Premier gives me a drop-down list, so it makes suggestions on where I can maybe hone in on my search for chickenpox. For demonstration's sake, I'm just going to leave it at chickenpox, and I'm going to click Search. And you can see at the top of my page, on the next page that comes up, my search results. It looks like I have about 796 records to pour through in terms of research in my project. 796 records is a lot of records to go through, and so you might also want to continue to limit your results. And to do that, I'm going to go over here on the left-hand side, and already MasterFILE Premier is reminding me that I did limit my search to full text and the scholarship peer-reviewed reviews. And then also it gives me a date range that we're starting off with, 1975 to 2020. These are slide controls, both the squares right here. I'm going to go to the left side, and I'm going to bump up my initial date from 1975. I'm going to bump it up to 1987. And notice that MasterFILE Premier makes results, and it bumped down my number of results a little bit. It's kind of a smallish number there. So I might choose to go back to the limiter column here. And under source type, MasterFILE Premier lists where it got its results. Academic journals, it looks like it found 781 records for chickenpox. Basic journals, 46, and also a review. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and check journals right here. Once again, MasterFILE Premier makes an adjustment, and I now have 46 records to go through. And that seems more manageable. And so here's the drill. Once you have a list of records and you want to look through them, the article title is always going to be a link to the full record. And so, for example, on record number 1 here, it says putting a stop to chickenpox. And if I want to look at the full record, I simply click. And here's the author's name. Here's the name of the source or the journal that the article came from. Here are some suggested subjects that you might consider in your research. And I continue going up and down right here. And then over here on the left-hand side, there are a couple links that are kind of important here. It gives you links to the full text. So you can do an HTML full text or PDF full text, I'll click on PDF and see what we get here. And here's the article that comes up. It looks like it's a duplicate of how it appeared in the journal itself. And it looks like it's just simply one page, so that might not be sufficient information to help me with my research. So what do? Well, I'm going to go up here to the upper left-hand corner and click back onto my result list. And then I can look at other potential records to help me in my research here. And so here's one, a psychological critique of the public health response to chickenpox parties. And if I click on that link, once again, I get the full record with author's name, the name of the journal, suggested subjects. And then remember to look up in the upper left-hand corner here, and I'm going to click on the PDF record again to see what I get here. And let's just say for demonstration's sake that this is sufficient for my research needs. And so I want to keep this record and I want to keep this article. So what do? Well, next I'm going to go ahead and click back on the detailed record, which returns me back to the full record. And then I'll direct your attention over here to the right-hand side, the Tools column here. Now, if you have a Google account, you can save this article to your Google Drive. Also, you can add to the folder. So I'm going to click Add to Folder. And look what happens to the folder up here right next to the Sign Out button. A little piece of paper kind of fills in there, and that's to remind me that I just sent something there to the folder. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. I can also choose to print the folder, and here's a handy device here. I can also email the record to not only myself, but any colleagues that I'm working on this project with. So let me demonstrate the email feature here. When you click on email, it brings up a little form right here, and the important things to remember here is to include an email of the person you're sending it to. I'll use my personal email address here. And it's always a good idea to include a subject, so I'll type in a subject. And maybe a comment. And then you can go ahead and click Send, and you get a little confirmation pop-up right here. And we'll click Continue here. So that's the email feature right there. Another important feature over here on the right-hand side is the Cite button. A lot of times if you're writing a formal paper, especially on high school or college levels, you're required to have a citation for your article. So I'll click Cite here, and MasterFILE Premier returns some suggested ways by which you can cite your article. And there are many different methods involved here, so make sure you checked with your instructor to see which one's appropriate for the paper. It's been my experience that I use the MLA method of citing a paper. And so here we have it right here. And so I can type this out on my paper when I do my paper, or I can even copy and paste it right there. A final feature that I'd like to show you is the permalink, which is the final thing in the Tools column here. And when you click on permalink, up here at the top of the record, MasterFILE Premier will show you that will actually show you a link that you can copy and paste into an email. And so, for example, if you're working collaboratively in a group, you can send this via email to members of your group by copying the link, pasting it in your email, and clicking Send. Now I'm going to go ahead and we're still back here on a full record here, so I'm going to go ahead and close the permalink right here. And then also I'm going to go up here to click on the folder, and the folder now shows what I saved there, the actual article right there. And so I can view the article by clicking on the link, and or I can choose also to delete the article if I find that this article no longer has any utility for me. One final thing, the folder over here is my folder too, and it also lists everything that you sent to the folder in terms of the media type. So it's an article that I sent right there, but also there are sections for images, videos, companies, ebooks, audiobooks. So it also kind of manages your any resources that you find during the course of your searching. I just finished my demonstration of the MasterFILE Premier database, and remember, the MasterFILE Premier database is one of EBSCOhost's many databases that are available through the KCKPLE community. But I'd like to conclude this tutorial by discussing other databases that are available through the EE community. There's the Academic Search Premier database, and that contains full-text articles on popular culture, computer sciences, engineering, physics, arts, and more. There's the Business Source Premier database, containing information and analysis from top management and marketing journals. There's the Consumer Health Complete database, providing basic medical information and diagrams for students and the general public. The ERIC database provides educational information journals, magazines, books, conferences, and governmental publications. The GreenFile database has articles on global warming, green building, pollution, sustainable agriculture, and renewable energy. The History Reference Center has full-text articles from more than 1,600 reference books, nonfiction books, and leading history periodicals. The Literary Reference Center includes thousands of plot summaries, articles on literary criticisms, author biographies, and book reviews. The Newspaper Source Plus database contains comprehensive full-text articles from major newspapers such as the New York Times, Boston Globe, and the Christian Science Monitor. The Regional Business News database provides comprehensive full-text coverage for regional business publications. And finally, the Teacher Reference Center database contains abstracts of more than 270 educational journals and periodicals. In concluding this tutorial, I'd like to remind you that the EBSCOhost databases, including MasterFILE Premier, are also available through your KCKPL mobile app. And remember, you can download the KCK mobile app from your Apple Store or your Google Play Store. For further assistance on the MasterFILE Premier database, as well as any of the EBSCOhost databases, you can give the library a call at 913-295-8250. Also, visit our website at www.kckpl.org. This is Dave Mills. Thank you for your time.